For today's lesson, we're going to be talking about how to combine like terms. Now, there are two things that you want to be looking at when you're trying to combine like terms. First, terms have to have the same exact variables. That means if it has an x or a y, then the other terms must also have x and y. The second thing is that those variables have to have the exact same power. So just because this one has x and that one has x squared doesn't mean you can combine them. They have to be both x squared or both x to the first power. Let's take a look at some examples together. All right, this first one we have 4x minus 3y plus 8x minus 9y. What I like to do is I like to underline the like terms, and I'm going to do them in different colors. Now you can do the same thing and do different colors, or you could underline with one line for the like terms, and then other like terms you can use two lines instead of using different colors. So here, for example, we have the 4x and the 8x. Those are like terms. They both have x, and they're both x to the first. Then we also have negative 3y and the minus 9y. They both have y, and it's also just y to the first. So now we can combine those like terms. So 4x plus 8x is 12x, and then negative 3y minus 9y is negative 12y. And that's it. All right, the next one we have 3xy minus 5y squared plus 5xy plus 9y squared. So we have these terms that have both x and y in them, x to the first and y to the first. So I'm going to underline the 3xy and the 5xy. And then we have a y squared and a y squared, so we'll underline those two. Now we can combine like terms. So we have 3xy plus 5xy, that's 8xy. Negative 5y squared plus 9y squared, that is positive 4y squared. All right, this next one is a little bit longer. We have negative 3x squared plus 7x minus 6 plus 8x squared minus 9x minus 7. So it looks like we have two terms that have x squared in them. It looks like we have two that have just x in them. And we have two terms that don't have any variables, just negative 6 and negative 7. All right, so negative 3x squared plus 8x squared, that's 5x squared. 7x minus 9x, that's minus 2x. And then negative 6 minus 7, that's minus 13. All right, up here we have 3x squared y minus 6xy plus negative 2xy squared plus 8xy. All right, so it looks like we might only have the negative 6xy and the 8xy that are like terms. So note very closely that the first and the third terms in this expression, 3x squared y and xy squared, those are not like terms because x is squared in the first one, whereas y is squared in the third one. So we will go ahead and just combine negative 6xy plus 8xy, that's 2xy, and then we will just need to write the rest of what we have left down. So plus 3x squared y and minus 2xy squared. All right, in this next one, you see we have parentheses there. I would start off by distributing that 6. So we have negative 2 plus 6 minus 24x. And then the negative 2 and the 6 are like terms. So this is going to be 4. And then don't forget the minus 24x. Okay, our last example today looks like we want to distribute first, and it looks like we have two things to distribute, the negative 1 and then the 7. So we have negative 2x minus 5 plus 14 minus 28x. And now let's look for like terms. We have the negative 2x and the negative 28x, and then we have the negative 5 and the 14. So negative 2x minus 28x, that's going to be negative 30x, and then negative 5 plus 14, that's going to be positive 9. So negative 30x plus 9 is going to be our answer here.